Champion Leccy is dropping the Kilter V2 today, and it allows you to do insane things with your signal chain. Huge thanks to Wooly from Champion Leccy for sending me the Kilter V2. So this pedal allows you to modulate parallel effects loops. Essentially what you can look at that is you could put a bunch of pedals on the left, a bunch of pedals on the right, and automatically switch between them with 8 different waveforms. You can vary the speed. It has top expression inputs, so you can control the speed and depth of all of that. It's nuts. It's also got tap tempo, and if you don't have anything running, you can use this as a tremolo or even a ring modulator. Our first control is space, and this will dictate how far the signal swings from A to B or left to right. You can kind of think of this as depth also. Next up, we have time. This will control the speed between the modulation. You can also control that via foot switch from tap tempo on the lower left of the pedal. Next up, we have loop B and loop A, and this will set the level of each loop independently. Below that, we have our waveform selector, and here we get 8 very different, very musical waveforms to choose from. And then we have a two-way toggle that'll switch between like the order of the modulation. If you're anything like me, you get a little freaked out by pedals like this, where it's like so many inputs and outputs and all these knobs, and like, where's the gain knob? Where's bass and treble and, feedback and decay and time, like controls that I know, that I'm familiar with. Don't need to be freaked out by this. It is actually far more simple than it seems. Essentially, you can put a bunch of pedals on the right and a bunch of pedals on the left and just kind of phase back and forth between them. And this just blows the doors off of possibilities for modulation, for dynamics, for nuance, for creating new effects. It's pretty amazing. I show 3 clips here, but quite honestly, I was really frustrated doing this demo because I show 3 really cool things you can do with this, and I still feel like it's not even close to enough. Anyway, for today, we're using my 2023 Lockhorn Instruments Zipper, and this has Novak P13 pickups, and this is tuned to C#. As always, that'll be going into my Universal Audio Apollo X6, and then I'll be using the Softtube JMP 2203 amp plugin. In this first clip, we're going to do something really rad by using the Chase Bliss Gen Loss Mark II and the Earthquaker Devices Transmisser. So we have like a gritty VHS lo-fi thing on the right, and then this beautiful haunting modulated reverb on the left. And here are my settings for the Kilter. So while I was doing this clip, it sounded awesome, but what happens is as it was modulating, because it's going from like a dry signal, essentially, even though it's affected, to a reverb, there was this kind of disconnect. So what I did is I threw the Black Skycraft Sunbros at the end. I've done a full demo of this reverb. It's one of my all-time favorites, and you can check that out with the link up there. So now we have cohesion between the 2 modulating effects with that spring reverb. It's just a stunning sound that you're almost feeling like you're creating new effects with the Kilter. Anyway, enjoy. So as soon as I got this pedal, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, it'd be cool to do this with 2 different distortion sounds. So here's the settings we're going to use. And for my 2 drive pedals, I chose the Mask Audio Park Garden GE and the Audio Surplus Effects Dornenkrone. These 2 distortions could not be more different, but the way it kind of bounces back and forth between them is rad. In the beginning, I'll use just the Dornenkrone, and it'll be like this very choppy, like super aggressive, choppy fuzz sound. But because I also have the other loop turned up, my clean signal will come through. So you still hear what's going on. It's a really neat thing. And then I'll turn them both on. What's fascinating here is it's weird. Like there's a tremolo happening because it's very kind of jaggedly switching back because we're using that square wave. But there's no signal loss because we're not modulating amplitude or tone or any of the things that you would expect from a tremolo. So you get this tremolo effect with just like a distortion sound happening like in parallel with it. And there's almost like, it almost wants to be like a univibe, but it's not doing that. Super complex and very, very fun. And we'll do just the Park Garden, also sounds incredible. It's just such a fun and fascinating sound. So enjoy. And lastly, we're going to start our chain with the Audio Cultivation Project 4th. This is an incredible solid-state drive. I've done a full demo. You can check that out too. And that'll be running into the Kilter with these settings. And in this case, we're modulating between two very lush reverbs. We're going to have the Earthquaker devices Afterneath V3 and the Meris Mercury 7. This setting is sick. Because we're using like this ramping modulation with a hard cutoff, you get almost like a reverse effect. Like when you're hearing something in reverse, like a note in reverse, you're essentially hearing the tail swell up into the attack and then disappear because there was nothing before it. And that's what's happening here, but nothing is in reverse. We just get this vibe of reverse while these two reverbs are kind of bouncing back and forth between it. It's so awesome. With a little bit of grit from the 4th and just how all of this plays out, it is a really unique and ambient and haunting sound. And there you go. That'll do it for the Kilter V2 from Champion Leccy. Like I said, this thing drops today. It's super rad. Utility pedals in general often get slept on, but you really should pay attention to them. You've got all sorts of gain pedals. You've got delays, reverbs, different modulation, chorus, flanger, phaser. You've got, ring modulators and reverse things and pitch things and all of these great pedals. And then you add in something like this that allows you to take all of that and flip it on its head in a way that you wouldn't think of, like probably on your own. But when you have access to something like this, you can create truly amazing textures, soundscapes, and just like very functional things in your compositions and in your tone as well. Yeah, it's too sick. As always, he has some of the best artwork and the highest quality printing you can find. I can't speak highly enough of this thing. I love it a lot. Woolie's the man. Check out the links for the Kilter and everything else I'm using in the description below. If you like this content, please consider hitting subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell. All that stuff helps me out and helps me grow the channel, which I want to do. On that same note, we're just under 4,000 subscribers. Super exciting. Thank you guys so much. My kind of soft goal for the channel for this year is to hit 5K. So maybe we can do that. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching and all your support, and I'll see you next time. Peace.